So, in a recent interview on Talksport, Bob Arum has said the following. He has declared that Tyson Fury will definitely fight Anthony Joshua in 2025, regardless whether he wins or loses the Alexander Usyk rematch. He says here, and I quote, "That fight is something that has to happen because there's so much talk about it in the UK. I would be very, very surprised if the fight didn't happen at Wembley Stadium by mid 2025. That is the words, or those are the words of Bob Arum. So let's talk about it. Obviously, Bob Arum has now confirmed that Tyson Fury has now activated his rematch clause to face Alexander Usyk again. Whether that will be for undisputed or just the unified title, we will wait and see what the IBF do. But the original talk was that it was going to be in October. But according to Bob Arum, it's looking likely it's going to be late this year, early next year. And I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. I don't envision it's going to happen in October. I think both guys took some licks and they'll need a bit of time to recover. I think October is too quick a turnaround. In terms of Joshua versus Fury, listen, I've always said that win or lose, for both guys really, in whatever fights they're in, that fight will always be there for both guys. It just won't be as big, but it's still a very, very big fight. If you think of it like this, we are looking at this fight as hardcores, and we're saying Fury may have back-to-back losses, Joshua has 3 losses, how will he look at his subsequent fights? He's only, he's beaten Otto Lane and he's beaten Francis Ngannou and Novice. So we're kind of looking at it from the hardcore point of view. To a casual fan, they're just going to be looking at thinking, Fury, Joshua, I'm in. And that's literally it. They're just like, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, I'm in. Take my money, I'm in. That's how it would be sold. That's how it would be for those guys. Now, obviously, if it had the caveat of undisputed or unification, obviously it's a bigger fight. It's a more intriguing fight. It's a more enticing fight to everyone from the outside looking in. But I think just Joshua versus Fury in general, it's one of those fights that even if it happens, say, I'm not saying it, I hope this doesn't happen, but even if it happened, we'll say in 5 years' time, you probably would still have a large chunk of fans who will be like casual fans now who will be like, oh, Joshua versus Fury? Yeah, let's watch it. So I think that's always going to be there. The question is whether Tyson Fury will still be around by mid-2025 in terms of boxing. Because I feel like Joshua's spoken about it, that, he feels he has a couple of years still left in him. And, certainly he's lived the athlete's lifestyle. He's not shown any signs of wear and tear. He's not really had any tough fights other than the Klitschko and the Ruiz fight, the first fight. Other than that, it's been pretty straightforward. Against Alexander Usyk, he was just outboxed both times. He wasn't, taking a shellacking or anything in there. So Joshua is still, and I think him and Fury, God, I don't think they're that dissimilar in age. I think Joshua's younger, but not much younger. But in terms of, who's taking the more punishment in their career, I mean, like, it's night and day. Tyson Fury has. It's not even close. It's not even in their career. It's just in general. Fury's not lived, and he'll admit that, a clean life outside the ring. So with Fury, if he loses again to Alexander Usyk, which I expect, I wouldn't be shocked if he just... Now, I wouldn't envision him going out with a loss, but it wouldn't shock me if he just looks to have a gimmick fight just to get a win and say, right, boom, see you later, I'm done. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, and I think that might actually end up being what he just decides to do, to be honest with you. So it really depends, like, how much money's on the line, how much intrigue there is in it for Fury, because I think that with Joshua, he'll just want to do it because it really is a case of who is the number 2. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. Who is the number 2 of this generation? Because it's really between Joshua and Fury. They've both taken L's against Alexander Usyk. Both might have multiple L's against Alexander Usyk by the end of this year. And it really is a case of who's the number 2. And again, still for the casual audience, they're looking at that fight and they're thinking, Fury Joshua, let's watch it. Wembley Stadium, it'll easily fill Wembley Stadium. They could be really, and bump up the prices for the tickets. But even in the sections where you need the binoculars to watch it, if those tickets were increased, people would still pay. They'd still buy it. They'd still pay for it. They would. It's just such a big fight. So Bob Arum speaking about that. Listen, I'd be surprised. Look, I'd be pleasantly surprised if it happens next year. But if Fury loses again to Usyk, I don't think he'd be taking an Anthony Joshua fight personally. And maybe he could just look and say, do you know what? I'll take the fight. I've confidence in winning. If I lose, so be it. I've made millions and millions and millions. I mean, he's already a multi-millionaire, but like, he really will, you know, hit the bag. He hit the bag. He really will have the bag if he fights Usyk back to back and then Joshua. I mean, that is just that's something else. And if it is money that's driving him, well, there you go. I mean, you've 3 fights and the money is there. So yeah, that's what Bob Arum is saying. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, as always, if you haven't already. If it does happen, who do you have? Let me know your thoughts. Peace.